All right, welcome back. I wanted to talk more about recurring billing. Recurring billing, I feel, is very, very important just for a lot of businesses, and if your business model can handle that, that's fantastic. I just wanted to let you know about a couple different tools and different ways that you can now change the way you do business. Whereas in the old days, you would constantly just ask for money and credit cards and take it. So the big issue right now is that storage of credit card numbers is a huge toxic thing right now because of all the fraud and cyber fraud and whatever else you want to call it. So the ultimate goal, and what Visa and everybody else is pushing for with your PCI compliancy, is basically for you to not store credit card numbers basically in Excel files and Word files and text files on your computer, even on paper ideally. So that's where the industry has come up with new tools and gateways, and they call it tokenization, where they convert my credit card number into some other kind of a random digit where it doesn't mean anything to the person committing fraud. So it converts it into an alias, basically. So I basically developed a tool based on the business model of several of my merchants, one of my national franchises. So basically what they do is they collect money, and my motto here is that anybody can sell, but few can collect. So what that means is that you can go out and sell something, and then you sit around and wait for the check to come in, and the deal's not done until you get that check. So that's kind of what I developed this tool for, is to be able to do online invoicing and basically speed up and shorten that life cycle from the time of sale to the time of actual payment. So paymyinvoice.com, we can check it out online, and we can talk about a demo of that later. But in general, it automates invoicing and collections. The reason what it does is it's a virtual secretary that's constantly, every day, never forgetting, trying to go out and collect on that invoice. It's going to send a personalized email saying, hey Mark, I sent you an invoice 3 days ago. First of all, it's going to send a nice HTML email, and I'm going to have an opportunity to click that button and pay directly online. So I go from my email right to a browser, type in my credit card number, done, and I get a receipt back. And then the merchant gets an alert also saying that it's been paid. That's the ideal cash flow. So what this does is it automates those things. I'll send the invoice out, and I'll say I can tell whether or not they opened that email. So if they have not opened that email, I might send them another one and then figure out if they opened that one. And I can set up customized triggers based on whatever I want. If I want to send it 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, I could send 10 of them. And then what I would do is say, send me an email to the owner of the company, because I now need to get involved. This guy's ignored all these things. But meanwhile, I had a robot basically that never forgot to follow up. I set a trigger across the board. On 8 days, I always want to send a friendly reminder. On 12 days, I want to make it more aggressive, and so on. I might want to say in 180 days after an invoice was paid, I want to send a thank you or a survey. This does all that also. And remember that it's based on the timelines that each thing hit. So it's not like a big wave of customer surveys. It's always 180 days after the payment date. So it's different for every customer. Basically, it talks about follow-ups, triggers, alerts, reminders. One thing I use is I might say, if I have a recurring model, I might say 3 days before it's going to be hit, or 4 days, I would send them an email saying, don't forget, I'm going to hit your card in 4 days. Because a lot of people use debit cards. I want to make sure they have enough money on their credit card or their debit card. So I'll send them a reminder, friendly reminder, don't forget, we're going to be charging you in 4 days. It hits, and then they get a receipt. So it's a really nice service for your customers as well, and they love having control. Customers want control. That whole thing comes back to the credit card processing piece in general. They want to control their payments. They can log on here, update their new credit card number, their expiration date, their new billing address, if they get a different card, whatever it may be. This will tell them if the card failed, and it will automatically remind them and give them an opportunity to correct the credit card. So you go home at 5, customer's card fails, it emails them at 7, they put the new credit card in at 8, you walk in the morning, and that issue is resolved. Boom, one less thing on your plate. It's gone. So you can import and export to your QuickBooks, your other accounting softwares. Store credit card numbers online. This is the key to the whole system. This is where it tokenizes those credit cards so that they can't be stolen or lost or anything. You type it in once, it goes off and it gets converted and encrypted, and it's gone. So that way you can store all their numbers, and you might even want to have, we call it like a house account, where the recurring amount may not be the same each month. It might be a different amount each month. So you have their payment profile online, you just pull up their name, you click on credit card number ending in 8215, and you say, okay, well, it's going to be 80 bucks this month or 120 bucks next month. So it can be dynamic amounts each time. But the idea is that you're not key entering the credit card number in again. Be green, everybody else is doing it. So basically, Bank of America, everybody else is trying to send online invoices as well. So it's a great way to actually save on paper, speed up the whole process. I actually have an option for mailing. You can fax it to people from the system, and you can mail it off to people, and they will put it into a clear window envelope, tri-fold it, first class pre-stamp it, and mail it. And all that happens behind the scenes. So if you still want to do a combination of email plus paper, you can use that option, and it will print it and send it right off to people. And that'll be a fantastic service, and that way everybody wins and it goes faster. So you can even alleviate the stuffing task on your admin people, so you're not stuffing 1,000 envelopes. This company will do it for you. So if you would like more information on that, we can talk about paymyinvoice.com.